And what are your thoughts about, because for a lot of people, their business is like their baby,
Yes.
their fur baby or their human baby. And because they put so much love and time and energy and probably sacrificed a lot of other areas of their life to be a business owner or to grow a generational business, let's say. What's your response when they're like, well, I could be doing this much, I could be doing all of these things? And I'm saying to these people, if you had the energy, maybe you're just at a point where you don't want to do it anymore and someone else can.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not reflecting in your financials because you're not actually doing those things. They're great ideas, but it's like, when you're over it or you're burnout or, there's so many scenarios. Talk to that, how business owners are like, well, the potential earnings, but potential is not actual.
Yes, right. So when we do valuation, we're going off historical performance, everything that you've done up until that point.
Yes.
What I think is great about brokers is that you're selling the upside. So all that potential, those are good or great things to know, but then it's in the hands of the new owner to implement those things. That's what makes it more attractive. That's what makes it more sellable, but it's not actually creating value. We're looking at everything you've done to that point.
Yeah.
Makes sense. And I get it though, because like I said, I've been on the other side where I was, the business owner, and you do have that emotional attachment. And I try really hard to be empathetic in that situation because I've been there. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, business owners generally work a lot of hours unless they're absentee owners. And one of the trends that I'm seeing, at least in the Western United States where I live, is that people are looking at purchasing businesses where they can be absentee owners in lieu of purchasing investment properties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think, Stephanie? What do you think about that? Are you seeing the same thing in your area?
We're seeing that, we've got a trek tomorrow. I say we're getting in the car and going about 4 hours to take a look at something that is exactly what you're talking about. And I know that it's going to come to market and we're going to have multiple offers because it's everybody's dream to put their money into something that takes very little effort, very little overhead, to then turn around and 5 times their money in a moment. Right. And so those are what people are wanting to do because you don't have those headaches. You don't have, those nightmares of having to manage it or find the right employee that's going to manage it appropriately. And so, and I think too, when we've had both sides of businesses where we've got absentee owners that spend less than 5 hours a month in or on their business. And then we have it to where without that owner, there is no business. And those are the hard ones to sell because they're the hardest people to replace. And Brianna, when she's analyzing all of this, she does a really good job at, okay, well, here's the multiple for you because who's going to replace you? How much is it going to take and how long and at what cost is it going to put you in a different form in that business to keep it running as well as it does today? Because very few people, very few business buyers in our world want to buy a job. They want to buy cash flow.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Buy cash flow, or some of them that do want to work are buying essentially like they're stepping into a paycheck, right? Or or an annual salary. And when you, especially in the technical trades, like I've had a lot of like custom staircase, specialized wood flooring from all over the world, or glass manufacturing, like special glass manufacturing, stuff like that. There's not as many people going into these trades anymore. A lot of those people are doing something else. But then on the flip side, you see people that have been in the tech industry and working for a big company, and they're like, oh, I want to learn a trade and then, get into this business. But it's kind of interesting because I would think that maybe some of those businesses aren't as sellable because there's not enough people to replace the information and the technical art of what they do. What do you think about that, Brianna?
Well, I think, going back to the owner operator versus the investor, I think valuation, what I'm seeing is you can use valuation almost as a benchmark. I've seen a lot of owner operators who do think that their business is worth more. And but what I show them is we present that value a little bit different to an investor versus an owner operator. What they can do is go get their company ready to have that investor come in and purchase at a higher multiple. So that's kind of where we have that consulting aspect to what we do too, is we say, you can go do this, this, and this, and get your company to that point so that you can reach this valuation and have it investor ready.